All right, welcome to another deep dive. And today we're going to tackle something I know a lot of you have been asking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, potential career in front-end development.
Right.
We've got a fantastic guide here, and we're going to unpack it all. So think of this as your ultimate crash course
Right.
on building the websites and apps you use every single day.
I like it.
So,
Okay.
you're the expert here.
Yeah.
What is it about front-end development that just kind of gets you excited?
Well, you know what it really is? It's that it brings together so many things.
Like what?
Like technical skills, of course.
Right.
Design sense.
Okay.
Even a little bit of psychology.
Yeah,
You
okay,
know,
so-
understanding how people interact with what you build.
It's
Very cool.
Okay, so it's more than just making things look pretty,
Oh, for sure.
which, by the way, I love doing.
Right.
But the guide defines front-end development as, building the visual and interactive parts of a website.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Okay.
Think of it like this.
Okay.
You're creating an experience.
Right.
If we use the analogy of a house.
I love a good analogy.
Okay, good.
I'm with you.
HTML is the foundation.
The walls and beams.
CSS is your interior design, paint colors, furniture, making it aesthetically pleasing, but then JavaScript.
Okay.
JavaScript is what makes it livable.
Ooh.
It's the electricity, the plumbing,
Gotcha.
the stuff that makes things work.
So JavaScript is where the real magic happens.
In a way, yeah.
Okay.
That's where the dynamism comes in.
That's where the things come to life.
It really does.
I'm starting to see why this field is so in demand.
Yeah.
The guide talks about the skills you need, and it's like leveling up in a video game.
It is, yeah.
First, you got to master those core languages, HTML, CSS, JavaScript.
You got it.
But then things get really interesting with frameworks and libraries.
That's where things get fun.
Okay, frameworks and libraries, break it down for us.
Sure. Frameworks are like prefabricated building blocks.
Interesting.
But instead of writing every single line of code from scratch,
Yeah.
you're using these pre-built components to work faster and more efficiently.
I see.
Think of Bootstrap for CSS.
Okay.
It helps you create responsive layouts very easily.
So it's like a shortcut.
It is a shortcut.
Okay.
And then you've got your JavaScript powerhouses,
Oh, here we go.
React, Vue, and Angular.
React, Vue, these are big names.
Big names, yeah.
You see these everywhere.
You do.
And they each have their own
Yeah.
philosophies.
Strengths, weaknesses.
Okay, hold on. Back up for a second.
Sure.
Why so many choices? Why not just one JavaScript framework to rule them all?
Right.
Keep it simple.
That's where it gets fascinating.
Okay.
React
Yeah,
is incredibly popular.
it is.
It really
It
is.
seems like everyone's talking about React.
They are.
Yeah.
And for good reason.
Right.
It's component-based, and it's really good at building those complex user interfaces.
Yeah.
And it's got a huge community, which means lots of resources and support.
Yeah, that community aspect is so important,
It is.
especially when you're learning something new.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we've got React. What about Vue?
Vue is known for being simpler and easier to learn.
Interesting.
So it's a great choice for beginners
Okay,
or for smaller projects.
gotcha. So kind of like a stepping stone?
It can be, yeah.
Okay, and then we have Angular.
Angular is more of a full-fledged framework,
Okay.
often preferred for large enterprise-level applications.
So more complex projects, bigger teams.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so choosing a framework is kind of like choosing your weapon.
It is.
You got to pick the one
Yeah,
that best suits your project
absolutely.
and your own learning style.
Exactly.
Oh,
So
all
you've
right.
got those coding skills,
Right?
you're leveling up,
Leveling up.
and then you've got tools like
Yeah.
Git and GitHub.
GitHub, these are essential, right?
Essential.
Okay, for those who maybe haven't heard of these before, what are they all about?
Think of Git as a time machine for your code.
Whoa, a time machine.
You can track changes, you can revert back if needed,
Okay,
essential for collaboration.
so if you mess something up, you can go back.
You can go back.
Okay, that's reassuring.
It is.
All right, so Git is the time machine. What about GitHub?
GitHub is where you store your code online
Okay,
and you work together with others.
so it's almost like a social network for developers.
It is. It's very much like that.
I love that. Okay,
It's where you can showcase your work and collaborate.
so we've got the basics, HTML, CSS, JavaScript.
Yeah.
We've got the frameworks, React, Vue, Angular.
Yep.
We've got the collaboration tools, Git, and GitHub.
Absolutely.
It sounds like a lot to learn.
It is.
The guide lays out this whole roadmap to becoming a front-end developer.
Yeah.
But is it really achievable for someone starting from scratch?
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay.
And that's one of the exciting things about this field. There really are so many
And
resources.
so many different paths you can take.
Exactly.
So the guide suggests like a step-by-step approach.
It does, yeah.
First, solidify your knowledge.
Of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
Okay. And then,
And then start building.
even small projects.
Yes.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Like a to-do list or a simple calculator.
Okay.
These can help you grasp the fundamentals.
So you're not building like the next Facebook right away.
No, not right away.
You're starting small.
Start small.
Okay.
Yep.
And building those little projects helps you.
Solidify those skills.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I love that idea of learning by doing.
Me too, me too.
It's much more engaging than just staring at a textbook, right?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Much more.
So as you build these little projects, you're naturally going to encounter challenges.
You will, yeah.
That's where the problem solving comes in.
Exactly.
It's not just about memorizing code.
Nope.
It's about understanding how to break down a problem
Yeah.
and find a solution.
Find solutions, yeah.
So you're telling me it's okay to make mistakes.
Oh, more than okay.
Actually, it's encouraged.
It's part of the process.
Mistakes are our friends.
Mistakes are your friends.
I like that.
They really are.
Okay, so we've got our foundation. We're building projects.
Yeah.
We're comfortable making mistakes.
Good.
What's next on this roadmap to front-end mastery?
Well, that's where the frameworks come in.
Okay, so we pick our weapon.
You pick your weapon.
React, Vue, Angular.
Exactly.
Okay, and then we start building more
Yeah.
complex things.
More complex and dynamic projects.
So we're talking about more than just a basic to-do list now.
Yeah, you're leveling up.
Okay,
Think about a weather app that pulls data from an API,
okay.
or a simple blog where users can create and share content.
Ooh.
Or you could even build a prototype for an e-commerce store.
Okay.
Something like that.
I'm starting to see the potential here.
Yeah,
This is more than just building websites.
it is, yeah.
It's about creating interactive experiences.
For sure.
The guide also mentions version control and hosting.
Right.
Okay, for those of us who are maybe
Yeah,
not super familiar with those terms,
sure.
what are those and why do they matter?
Version control is essential
Okay.
for tracking your code,
Okay.
collaborating with others.
So that's where Git comes in.
And that's where Git comes in.
Okay.
It's like a safety net.
Gotcha.
It lets you experiment and revert back if needed.
So you can be bold and try things,
You can, yeah.
knowing that you can always go back.
Exactly.
I like it.
Okay, and then hosting.
Okay, hosting.
Hosting is where you showcase your work to the world.
So this is where I show off all my amazing projects.
Exactly.
Okay. What are some of the popular hosting platforms?
You've got GitHub Pages, Netlify, Vercel.
Okay.
These are great options.
These let you publish your websites,
Yes.
make them accessible online.
Exactly.
So it's like having your own little online gallery.
It
It's
is.
all your creations.
Your digital portfolio.
Okay, I'm building projects. I'm using version control.
Yeah.
I'm hosting my work online.
You're getting there.
What's the next step?
Right.
Is it time to start sending out my resume?
Almost.
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 Okay, hold on. There's one more step.
There's one more step.
What is it?
You need to build a portfolio.
Oh, a portfolio.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where I showcase my skills
Yes.
to potential employers.
Or clients.
It's like a digital resume
It is, yeah.
that actually shows what I can do
Exactly.
rather than just telling them.
Way more powerful.
Okay, and then finally, the moment we've all been waiting for,
Right.
launching the career.
It's exciting.
So what does that look like?
The guide suggests starting with junior front-end developer roles.
Okay.
You can gain experience.
With your network.
Exactly.
And there are platforms like Upwork and Fiverr
Yeah,
for finding freelance projects.
absolutely. Yeah.
So you can kind of dip your toes in the water
You can, yeah.
before committing to a full-time role.
Absolutely.
So the path is clear.
It is.
But what kind of career trajectory can someone expect in this field?
I mean, where does a junior front-end developer go from there? There's so much room for growth.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's not just like a straight line?
Not necessarily, no.
You could specialize
You could, yeah.
in certain areas.
Yeah, like accessibility,
Oh, interesting.
performance optimization.
Okay.
You could even become a UI UX specialist.
UI UX. Now, those are the folks who
They focus on user experience.
making sure that the website's not only functional,
Right.
but also enjoyable.
Enjoyable, intuitive to use.
They're like architects of the digital world,
They are, yeah.
designing the blueprints
Absolutely.
for how we interact with these websites and apps.
Exactly.
So you're saying there are lots of different paths you can take
Yeah.
within front-end development.
There are,
Okay, that's exciting.
depending on your interests and your strengths.
I like that. So there's something for everyone.
There.
Let's get back to those all-important languages for a second.
Okay.
The guide really emphasizes learning specific languages
Yeah.
as if they're keys to unlocking
specific doors.
Specific doors in the front-end world.
Absolutely.
What does that mean?
It means understanding the strengths and limitations of each language.
Right.
HTML and CSS, those are your foundation.
Yeah.
You can't build a website without them.
Right.
But JavaScript is what brings websites to life.
Okay, JavaScript is the magic.
It is the magic, yes.
That makes everything dynamic
It does.
and interactive.
That's that smooth, seamless experience.
So JavaScript is like the electricity that powers the whole thing.
It is, yeah.
And the guide specifically calls out React as being like this particularly valuable skill.
It is, yeah.
What makes React so special?
Well, it's incredibly popular.
Which means more job opportunities.
More job opportunities, a vibrant community to learn from.
You can always find help if you need it.
Exactly.
So it's not just the technology itself, it's the community around it
the community around it.
that makes it so valuable.
Exactly.
But even with the best tools, you can't build everything alone, right?
Right, and that's where the collaboration comes in.
The guide really highlights the importance of collaboration.
It does, yeah.
Especially using Git and GitHub.
Yes.
So why is that so important in this field?
In the real world, development's a team sport.
Okay, so you can't just be a lone wolf coder in your basement.
No, not really.
You got to be able to work with others.
You have to, yeah.
Git and GitHub allow developers to work together seamlessly.
They do, yeah.
They can track changes.
Yes.
They can manage different versions of the code base.
Exactly.
And avoid those dreaded
merge conflicts.
Those sound scary.
They can be, yeah.
But with good communication
Yeah.
and the proper use of Git,
Right.
you can avoid them.
You can manage them, yeah.
Okay, so it's all part of that collaborative process.
It is, absolutely.
Okay, so collaboration is key. But let's be real for a second. Everyone wants to know.
Yeah.
What kind of salary can you expect in this field?
I know.
I mean, is all this hard work actually worth it financially?
That's the million-dollar question.
It is.
But the good news is
Yeah.
front-end development is generally well compensated.
Okay, good.
Especially as you gain experience and expertise.
So the more you know, the more you're worth.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, the guide gives some salary ranges,
Yeah,
but I imagine they vary quite a bit,
they do.
depending on location.
And absolutely well with those factors.
So location plays a big role.
It does, yeah.
Larger tech hubs, like San Francisco and New York,
Yeah.
typically offer higher salaries,
They do.
but the cost of living is also higher.
Yeah, it's a trade-off.
That's a trade-off.
It is.
What about experience level?
How much can a junior front-end developer expect to earn? The guide suggests a range of like
Okay.
$40,000 to $70,000 per year for entry-level roles.
So not bad for a starting salary.
Not bad at all.
And that can go up significantly
Oh, absolutely.
as you gain experience.
As you move into more senior positions.
Okay, and for those who prefer the flexibility of freelancing,
Yeah.
what kind of rates can they expect?
Freelancing offers a lot of freedom
Yeah.
and potentially higher hourly rates,
Okay.
but it also comes with less stability.
Less stability. So it's a trade-off again.
It is. It is.
Guide mentions rates ranging from
Yeah.
$25 to $100 per hour,
Yeah.
depending on
The complexity of the project
the complexity.
and your level of experience.
So there's definitely potential to earn a good living
There is.
as a front-end developer,
Absolutely.
whether you choose the traditional job route
Yeah.
or the freelance path.
It's a good field to be in.
It is. Okay, so the guide doesn't just stop at technical skills
Right.
and salary expectations.
It goes deeper.
It offers some valuable advice from
Experienced developer.
seasoned developers
Thanks.
who've been there, done that, built successful careers in this field.
It's gold.
So these are the insights you don't always get in textbooks
Nope.
or online courses.
You don't.
These are the real-world tips.
They are.
Okay, what's the #1 piece of advice?
Never stop learning.
Never stop learning, okay?
This field moves fast.
It does.
What's cutting edge today
Yeah,
might be outdated tomorrow.
that's true in a lot of tech fields, actually.
It is. You got
It's kind
to
of curious.
and embrace change.
Embrace change.
That's key.
So it's like a constant game of catch-up.
in a way, yeah.
But that's also what makes it exciting, right?
It is. It is.
There's always something new.
Absolutely. New ways to push the boundaries.
It keeps things fresh.
It does.
Okay, so staying curious, embracing that lifelong learning mindset.
That's key.
What other advice do these seasoned developers have to offer?
Networking is huge.
Networking, yeah. Connect with other developers.
Yeah.
Attend industry events. Get involved in online communities.
Absolutely.
So it's not just about what you know.
Nope.
It's also about who you know.
It is, yeah.
Relationships matter.
They do.
Okay, building a strong network. can open doors.
Absolutely.
The guide also mentions contributing to open source projects
Yes.
as a great way to learn and build your portfolio.
It is. I love that. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Sure. Open source projects are amazing.
Okay.
You can improve your coding skills.
Yeah.
You can learn from experienced developers.
So it's like real-world experience.
It is.
And it's a great way to show.
Potential employers or clients what you're capable of.
So it's like a public portfolio.
It is. It is.
That demonstrates your skills in action.
You're not just saying you can code.
Yeah.
You're showing it.
You're showing them a real project
Exactly.
that you've contributed to.
It's powerful.
Okay. And then finally, the last piece of advice.
Yeah.
That applies to any field, but especially to front-end development.
Focus on problem solving.
Problem solving, yeah.
Employers love developers who can think critically,
Okay.
break down complex problems,
And find those solutions.
find elegant solutions.
So it's not just about knowing the syntax of a language.
Right.
It's about being able to actually apply that knowledge
Yeah.
to real-world challenges.
Absolutely.
Okay, so being resourceful, creative,
Yeah.
persistent in finding the best way to solve a problem.
Exactly.
That's what makes a truly great developer.
That's what makes the difference.
This has been an incredible overview of what it takes to be a successful front-end developer.
It has.
We've covered the essential skills,
Yeah.
the career path,
Yeah.
salary expectations,
The good stuff.
and even some valuable advice from the pros.
Grows.
But the guide doesn't stop there.
It doesn't.
It mentions some trends
Yeah.
that are shaping the future of the field.
They are.
Things like Web 3.0
Right.
and PWAs.
PWAs.
These are admittedly kind of futuristic sounding concepts.
They are. Yeah.
I have to admit it.
Yeah.
Those went a bit over my head earlier.
We'll break them down.
Okay, good, because I need some clarification.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, stay tuned for part 2, where we'll dive deeper into those trends
We will.
and see how they might shape the future of front-end development.
It's going to be exciting.
It is. It is. I can't wait.
All right, looking forward to it.
All right, we're back and ready to dive even deeper into this front-end world. We kind of teased it before the break,
Yeah.
but the guide mentioned some pretty futuristic sounding concepts.
Yeah, it did.
Web 3.0,
Web 3.0.
PWAs.
Right.
I have to admit those went a bit over my head.
Yeah,
Can we break those down a bit?
absolutely. So two separate but kind of related trends
Okay.
that are already starting to shape the future
Okay.
of front-end development. Let's start with Web 3.0. It's often called the next evolution of the internet.
Right?
But what does that even mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
Is it just like a fancier version of the internet we already have?
It's more of a fundamental shift in how the internet works.
Okay.
Web 3.0 is all about decentralization.
Decentralization.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's built on technologies like blockchain.
Blockchain. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
This is getting complicated.
Instead of having a few big companies controlling most of the data and platforms,
Right, right.
the power is distributed among the users.
Okay, that sounds pretty radical.
It is.
But I'm still not seeing the connection to front-end development.
How does blockchain change the way websites are built? Think of it this way. Right now, most web applications rely on centralized servers.
Okay.
Your data is stored on their servers,
Right.
and you're interacting with their platforms.
Yeah, Facebook, Google, all those guys.
Exactly.
Okay.
With Web 3.0, the data and the logic
Yeah.
can be distributed across a blockchain network.
So no single entity has control.
That's the idea.
Okay, so instead of Facebook or Google holding all the cards,
Right.
the power is spread out among everyone using the network.
Exactly.
That's a pretty big change.
It is a paradigm shift.
But how does that translate into something a front-end developer
Right.
would actually build?
That's where things get really interesting for front-end developers.
Well, let's hear it.
Instead of building traditional web applications that rely on centralized servers,
Okay.
they'll be creating decentralized applications
Or
or
D.
dApps.
dApps. Okay, I've seen that term.
These dApps interact directly with the blockchain,
Okay.
allowing for new kinds of user experiences.
Okay, give me an example.
What kind of dApp would a front-end developer build that's different from what we see today? Imagine a social media platform where you own your data,
Okay.
and no corporation can censor your content or sell your information without your consent.
So like a truly decentralized Facebook.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Or a financial application where you can make transactions directly with other users.
Okay.
Cut out the middleman.
Cutting out the banks, the fees.
Yeah, the fees.
Okay, now I'm starting to see the potential.
Right.
It's not just about making websites look pretty anymore.
It's about building a whole new infrastructure.
A whole new internet.
Exactly.
So if Web 3.0 is all about decentralization,
Yeah.
What are PWAs all about?
PWAs, or progressive web apps, are a separate but related trend.
Okay.
They're essentially websites that act and feel like native apps
Okay.
on your phone or your computer.
Wait a minute. So those little icons that I can add to my home screen,
Yeah,
some of those are actually just websites
they can be,
disguised as apps.
in a way.
So what's the key difference?
Traditional apps need to be downloaded and installed.
Okay. From an app store.
Right, from an app store.
PWAs are still websites,
They are.
but they're built using modern web technologies
Yes.
that give them that app-like functionality.
Exactly.
So what's the advantage for users? Why would I use a PWA
Sure.
instead of just a regular app?
Well, for starters, PWAs are much lighter and faster.
Okay.
They don't require a big download or
Yeah.
installation process.
So they load almost instantly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Especially on a slow connection, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
Plus, they can work offline.
which is a huge advantage.
Yeah, especially in areas with spotty internet connections.
Absolutely.
So I'm starting to see the appeal.
Yeah.
But how does this impact front-end developers?
Yeah.
Is building a PWA?
Totally different from building a regular website. It requires a different set of skills and tools.
Okay, so what do I need to know?
Front-end developers need to master techniques like service workers,
Okay.
which allow PWAs to work offline.
And push notifications.
Push notifications, which give users those app-like alerts.
Right, right. So it's like front-end development is leveling up
It is.
to meet the demands of
Yeah.
these new technologies.
Absolutely.
Okay, it definitely sounds exciting, but I also have to admit, it's a bit intimidating.
It can be.
All this talk of blockchain, decentralization,
Yeah.
PWAs,
It's a lot.
it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot to wrap my head around.
It is a lot to learn.
Is it even possible for someone just starting out
Yeah.
in front-end development to keep up with all this change?
It's certainly a challenge,
Okay.
but it's not insurmountable.
Okay, good.
The key is to focus on building a solid foundation
In those core web technologies.
in those core web technologies, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
So while those futuristic concepts are exciting to explore,
Yes.
don't get too caught up in the hype.
Right.
Solidify those core skills first,
Exactly.
then branch out from there.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's a good approach.
But even with the strong foundation, I imagine this field can be pretty demanding.
Oh, it can be.
What are some of the challenges that front-end developers face
Yeah.
in your day-to-day work?
One of the biggest challenges is keeping up with the rapid pace of change.
It's constantly changing.
New technologies, frameworks, best practices, they emerge constantly.
So you're constantly learning and unlearning things.
In a way, yeah.
That can be exciting, but also exhausting.
It can be both.
Yeah.
It definitely keeps things interesting.
Okay, what else?
Another challenge is dealing with the ever-increasing complexity of web applications.
Yeah.
Users expect seamless, interactive experiences across multiple devices,
Yeah.
which requires front-end developers to be skilled in areas like responsive design,
Okay.
performance optimization,
Accessibility.
accessibility, all of that.
So it's not just about making websites look good anymore.
No.
It's about building complex systems
Yes.
that work flawlessly on every device and for every user.
That's the goal.
That's a pretty tall order.
It is.
And on top of that, front-end developers often need to collaborate
Yes.
with designers, back-end developers, project managers,
Right.
all these different stakeholders.
It's a team effort.
So good communication
Yeah.
and teamwork skills.
Are essential.
So it's a multifaceted role
It is.
that requires a blend of technical expertise, design sensibility,
Absolutely.
and strong communication skills.
It's a challenging but rewarding field.
Yeah, sounds like it.
For those who are passionate about building the user-facing side of the web,
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this second part
read out.
of our deep dive.
Yeah.
From exploring the exciting possibilities of Web 3.0 and PWAs
Yeah.
to understanding the practical challenges
Right.
that front-end developers face every day.
It's been a fascinating journey so far,
It has.
and we've only just scratched the surface.
I'm eager to hear more.
Okay.
Let's take a quick break, and when we come back,
All right.
I'd love to dive into some specific resources and tips
Yeah.
that can help someone who's interested in front-end development
Let's do it.
actually get started.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to the deep dive. So far, we've explored what front-end development is all about,
Yeah.
the skills you need, the career paths available,
Right.
and even got a glimpse into the future with Web 3.0 and PWAs.
The future is now.
It is. It's happening.
It is.
I have to admit, I'm feeling pretty inspired,
Good.
but I'm also feeling a bit overwhelmed
I get it.
with all the information.
That's a lot.
It's like standing at the foot of a mountain, ready to climb,
Right.
but not sure where to even start.
Yeah.
So say I'm starting from scratch.
Okay.
No prior coding experience.
Right.
Where do I even begin?
Remember those core languages we talked about?
HTML, CSS, and JavaScript.
Exactly.
The guide mentions some fantastic free resources,
It does.
like Free Code Camp and MDN Web Docs.
Yes, excellent resources.
Okay, I've heard of Free Code Camp.
Yeah,
They're known for those interactive coding challenges, right?
they are, yeah.
So it's a very hands-on approach,
It is very hands-on.
which I think is perfect
Yeah,
for solidifying your understanding.
for sure.
You're actually writing code
From the very beginning.
from the very beginning, which helps you learn much faster
Absolutely.
than just passively reading about it.
Yeah, way faster.
Okay, so that sounds like my kind of learning.
Good.
What about MDN Web Docs? What's special about them?
MDN Web Docs is like a comprehensive encyclopedia for web developers.
Okay.
It's run by Mozilla.
The folks behind Firefox.
Exactly.
And it's an incredibly reliable and up-to-date resource. So it's the place to go when I inevitably get stuck
It is.
and I need to look something up.
You got it.
It's like my coding Bible,
Your coding Bible.
my lifeline when I'm debugging
Especially late at night.
late at night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, those are great resources for learning the core languages.
Yeah.
But what about when I'm ready to tackle those frameworks,
Okay.
like React.js?
The official React documentation is a great place to start.
Okay, and I'm guessing there are tons of
Oh, yeah?
tutorials and courses available online.
Platforms like Udemy, Coursera, even YouTube
Oh, yeah.
offer a wealth of resources,
Free and paid.
free and paid.
It's amazing how much is available these days.
It really is.
It really makes learning accessible
To anyone.
with an internet connection.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Game changer.
It is.
It really is.
And don't forget about the power of community.
Yes.
The guide highlights the importance of networking.
It does.
And there are so many ways
Yeah.
to connect with other developers.
You're online and in person.
Online and in person, okay?
Absolutely.
So we talked about online forums like Stack Overflow.
Yeah.
Those are good for more than just getting quick answers to coding problems, right?
Stack Overflow is great for finding solutions to specific coding issues,
Yeah.
but it's also a place to learn
Okay.
from other developers' approaches to problem solving.
Seeing how other people do it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And for more general discussion and networking,
Yeah.
you can explore platforms like Reddit,
Yeah.
Discord, even LinkedIn.
So there's this whole online world
There is.
of developers out there
There's a huge community.
ready to answer my questions
Well,
and
yeah.
help me along the way.
Absolutely.
That's reassuring to know, especially for someone just starting out
Yeah.
and then I'm guessing attending local meetups,
Yeah.
conferences
Those are great.
can be even more valuable for connecting with other developers on a personal level.
Nothing beats face-to-face interaction.
You get to meet other developers
Yeah.
face to face,
In real life,
learn from industry experts,
and you might even discover
job opportunities.
job opportunities. Yeah.
So it's not just about learning,
Right?
it's also about building those relationships.
That's about the connections.
The guide also mentions contributing to open source projects
Yeah.
as a great way to learn and build your portfolio.
It's a fantastic way to learn by doing.
Okay, I'm still a bit fuzzy on how that works.
Okay, so GitHub is the main hub
Okay,
for open source collaboration.
so I can go on GitHub
You can search for projects,
that align with your interests.
see how other people are writing code,
Yes, experienced developers.
and I can even contribute
Yeah.
my own code.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So it's like a massive collaborative coding effort
It is.
where anyone can participate.
Anyone can jump in.
And it's a fantastic way to learn.
You get to work on real-world projects. Real-world projects
Yeah.
gain experience with different coding styles.
Different techniques, different approaches.
And it's a great way to show
potential employers
potential
what
employers.
you're capable of.
It's like a living portfolio
It is.
that demonstrates your skills in action.
It's one thing to say you can code.
It's another thing to show it.
Exactly.
So contributing to open source is a fantastic way to build your portfolio.
Absolutely.
Stand out from the crowd.
Yes.
Okay, so let's say I've been working hard,
You've been putting in the hours.
building my skills, contributing to open source projects.
Right.
I'm finally ready to start applying for jobs.
Okay. You're ready to launch your career.
Any tips for navigating that process?
First, make sure your portfolio is polished.
Okay, so presentation matters.
It does. Your portfolio is your first impression.
Make it count.
Exactly.
Okay.
And once you've got your portfolio in order,
Yeah.
it's time to hit those job boards.
Okay, give us some examples.
Sites like Indeed, LinkedIn, even specialized tech job boards.
And networking can play a role in the job search as well, right?
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to reach out to companies directly,
Okay.
even if they don't have a specific opening listed.
So put yourself out there.
Put yourself out there.
Network.
Exactly.
Okay.
And don't underestimate the power of informational interviews.
Informational interviews, okay,
Yeah, talking to people who are already working in the field.
can give you invaluable insights,
Absolutely.
help you make informed decisions about your career path.
Exactly.
So it sounds like building relationships,
Yeah,
connecting with people
is crucial.
throughout this whole journey,
It is, yeah.
from learning the basics
Right.
to landing that dream job.
Front-end development is a field that thrives on collaboration.
It's a community.
It is a strong community.
The more you connect with others,
The more you'll learn
the more you'll grow.
and ultimately succeed.
Well, we've covered an incredible amount of ground
We have.
in this deep dive.
I'm glad you're feeling inspired.
I am.
That's what we want.
We went from the very basics,
Yeah, HTML, CSS, JavaScript,
all the way to exploring the future of the web.
Web 3.0, PWAs, all that good stuff.
You provided so many practical resources and tips
I tried my best.
to help someone who's interested in front-end development
Yeah,
actually get started.
that's the goal.
I know I'm speaking for myself, but I'm definitely feeling inspired.
Good, good.
And a huge thank you to you, our expert,
Oh, you're welcome.
for sharing your insights and expertise.
Happy to do it.
It's been truly enlightening.
Glad to hear it.
And to our listeners out there,
Yeah.
the future of the web is literally in your hands.
Go build something amazing.
Go build something amazing.
Never stop learning.
Until next time,
See you then.
keep diving deeper.